All right, real quick here. This is RamView Wrap Up. I'm Joe Terosian. And yeah, that was a painful one for the most part in Philadelphia. But, I didn't take the Rams in this game. So I got 15 thoughts, 15 things to think about from week 3. And then we can talk a little bit about going forward. Rams get the Colts next week. And then after that, it's a short week, and they get the 49ers, who remain undefeated today. So let's look at a couple things. Yeah, a couple of new things in my digs here. Working a few kinks out, some tech problems as you build another set. But here we go. 15 things that stood out in the Ram game. Even if Josh Carty makes the field goal to win the game, the Rams didn't deserve to win it. And I'm not lit because they lost. I'm not lit because they lost it. They just didn't deserve it. They're up 26-7. They took the foot off the pedal. They got soft. And they got beat by a team who knows how to win big games right now. Maybe that'll change for the Rams as time goes on. I think it will. But no, even if Josh Carty made the field goal, I don't think it would have been a win for the Rams. And I mean that in the figurative sense, of course, that it got the W. But I think probably the healthiest thing was for this team to lose. In a 17-game season, number 2, you've got to have maturity to deliver the knockout blow. Up 26-7, the Rams just did not have that maturity today, but I do believe they'll have it when January rolls around. Third thought, the field goals will become touchdowns provided everyone stays healthy. So yeah, they could have stole this one today, and it would have been great, but they didn't. And most of us expected to be 2-1 at this point, and they are. It's just you got to finish these things. You just have to finish these things. And when they kept racking up field goals in the first half, you knew that was going to come. If you watched football, right, the Eagles weren't going to stay that bad, and the Rams weren't going to keep playing at that high of a level. Things were going to balance out. For the most part, they did. But this game could have been 31-7 in the first half. Easily. Could have been 31-7. And they didn't do it. At minimum, 27-7. And they didn't do it, and they kept the Eagles in the game. Because you keep telling the defense, instead I'm not down by 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns, hey, I'm down by 2 touchdowns and a field goal, right? It changes everything. Fourth thought, the Eagles are hanging by a thread. They are the world champs, right? They look like the Chiefs last year. They're propelled to 3-0 right now, and they easily could be 0-3. If not for a CeeDee Lamb drop, a Travis Kelce giveaway and drop, and a couple of blocked field goals. If Josh Carty makes that 41-yarder, not a chip shot, but an easy make for him, they're 0-3. That's how close the Eagles are to be 0-3. I think they're going to collapse before the season is over. Number 5, Matthew Stafford was great. Again, no one else's hands that you'd want that in. Eagles went ahead 27-26. He got the Rams into position. Matthew Stafford's great, but I'll say this. He had too many misses today for Matthew Stafford. He had too many open receivers. Now, if that's anybody else, no one thinks anything of it. But for Matthew Stafford, it was too many. I have not looked at any post-game numbers. I haven't heard any reports about injuries. But I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up on the injury report this week with something tweaked in his back or his leg by the way he was reaching for it, right? I'm going to be surprised if something is tweaked there for Matthew Stafford. Number 6, Rams don't have a cornerback problem. I could hear the problem. I could hear it already brewing for tomorrow's show. I could hear people getting all worked up. The Rams need a corner, Rams need a corner, Rams need a corner. Rams have corners competent enough to win a Super Bowl. I firmly believe that. What they've got is an A.J. Brown problem. And we've talked about this. I brought this up last year. I brought it up earlier this year. The only thing you didn't want to see was Darius Williams matched up on A.J. Brown. Brown is just too strong and physical for Williams. They talked about the Devontae Adams push-off for a touchdown. Please, right? Help me. Did A.J. Brown not just fling Darius Williams halfway across the end zone? And, of course, they didn't call it. Forbes tried his luck with him. Forbes hung with him in coverage, but he's not strong enough. He's just not strong enough. In fact, the only Ram player strong enough probably to match up with A.J. Brown is Quentin Lake, but I don't think he has the wheels to do it going downfield. Number 7, there's a problem brewing here. 3 blocked kicks in 2 weeks. Chase Blackbird and the special teams have a hole they need to close. Now, I know those guys bull rushed everybody at the end. They literally blew by Slimmer and pancaked Rob Havenstein when you see the replay of that last blocked kick. Rams got to figure this out because they had a kick blocked or an extra point blocked at the end of last week. And then, of course, the last two kicks this week. Now, I think the Eagles are a little bit of an outlier, but still, you got to tighten that sucker up. Number 8, Rams got 4 sacks. I think that's 12 sacks in 3 games. Rams are going to be fine. Verse, Byron Young, McCullough's sack on Hurts was just unbelievable. It was fantastic. And, of course, Puna Ford. Number 9, Dotson left the field. Kevin Dotson left the field with 3:11 to play in the third, but he came back later. It looked like it was ultimately cramps. We're going to find out more, but we got to find out about Steve Avila, as we talked about in our last show. We got to find out, is he a player or is he just an injury guy? Because Avila's only got 1 year left on his contract. Ironically, so does Kevin Dotson, and we brought it up. Rams should be looking at, in the first 4 rounds or maybe in the top 100, looking at drafting a guard. Number 10, the Rams ran the ball really well against the Eagles. They did. And I thought, except for the 4th and 1 at midfield, they mixed things up pretty well. Again, I think the difference in this was Stafford had some key misses that ordinarily Stafford doesn't make, which makes me believe something was up with Matthew Stafford. Number 11, and yes, the first 2 times the Eagles ran the tush push, the goal on the goal line, that right guard, Steen, jumped both times. Even, was it Pereira? He called it. He said, he jumped. There he is. He jumped. You know, I do not want the play banned, but grow up, NFL. Park a drone over it and get the call right. Number 12, it seemed the refs waited for the Rams to celebrate before throwing a flag on Coleman Shelton on that hold in the end zone. I didn't think the replay, I don't think Fox did a good job showing the replay of that from another angle. And, it looked like the Rams were already running to the sideline before you got a blow of the whistle on that one. Number 13, Tutu Atwell had 1 target, 1 drop, and I thought I heard Travis Rogers pop a champagne bottle open in celebration because now he's got someone to complain about. 14, Puka taunting call. Simply another reason the NFL needs another league to compete against. You know, usually when we were covering prep football, and this isn't about all educators, but when you saw a real stupid call on something like this, it's usually involving educators. I wouldn't be surprised the career choice, they're all full-time now. But what a ridiculous call on Puka. And the NFL needs competition, because if they get competition, then these stupid calls are going to go away. 15, finally, if there are no serious injuries coming out of this game, hear me on this, this is a good loss. This is ultimately a win for the Rams, because this is a young team playing against the world champions, another game where they should have beat them, just like the playoff game last year, but Philly's the world champions for a reason. They know how to close things out. And as much as I'm not impressed necessarily with Jalen Hurts as far as throwing the ball, he's a great leader and a great quarterback who keeps his cool. And I think the Rams will break through when they face this team again in January, if this team gets to January. They talked about how the Rams contain Saquon Barkley. We talked about it on the show on Saturday, that Saquon Barkley ran 2 plays for 140 yards against the Rams. 2 plays for 140 yards against the Rams in the playoffs. The other 24 carries he had that didn't go for 70-yard touchdown runs, he ran for 65 yards. We talked about how the defense was a year older, a year wiser, took better angles, and it showed with Saquon Barkley. But they finally decided to throw the ball to A.J. Brown, exploited some weak matchups, give them full credit. And the Rams didn't score touchdowns when they needed to score touchdowns. Am I the only one that by the time you're kicking the second field goal on your 3rd trip to the red zone, don't you just get a queasy feeling that, this isn't going to work out well? This isn't going to work out well. Rams have the talent, just as much talent than the Eagles, maybe in the trenches there on that defensive line. Those some big bubbas. But the Rams can do this. Rams can beat them. Ultimately, as long as there are no serious injuries, no one goes out for any length of time, this is ultimately a win for the Rams. And again, I'll say it one more time. I wouldn't be surprised if word comes out that something happened to Matthew Stafford. All right, cool. We got it in, we got it out, and we're going to get out of here right now. Let's see here. Yeah, all right, cool. Let's go, and we will get this spread around social media. We will be on at 4 p.m. tomorrow, 4 p.m. on Monday. God bless, guys.